Welcome to this week's Movie Math, where it looks like Liam Neeson doesn't have a monopoly on his special set of skills. Denzel Washington not only took a page from Neeson's playbook this weekend, but destroyed Neeson's own A Walk Among the Tombstones in its second weekend. But while Neeson floundered, overall, Hollywood closed the book on a spectacular September, launching 3 big movies that all fell within the top 15 openings ever for the month. And of those 3 films, 2 are likely to become franchises. This is just further evidence that Hollywood, overcrowded with content at this point, is looking to utilize, and so far is successfully utilizing, the entire calendar. Clearly, when positioned correctly, if Hollywood screens a movie, the audience will come. And while Idris Elba and Dylan O'Brien look to establish their star power, Denzel reiterated his, proving that he's one of the few movie stars left in Hollywood's darkening constellation. The Equalizer is Denzel's 3rd biggest opening of all time after American Gangster and Safe House, and that coupled with Sony's eagerness for a sequel means Denzel will likely agree to the first sequel of his career. Furthermore, the only flick on the horizon for Denzel is another team-up with Antoine Fuqua for a remake of The Magnificent Seven. But don't be surprised if this strong showing leads to a few more deals being put into place. For instance, as comic book films look to diversify while maintaining widespread appeal, Marvel, DC, and Fox would be crazy not to consider one of the few black actors in Hollywood who can consistently open a movie. Also, isn't it a nice change of pace to see a movie live up to its hype for once? Now, as for the other big opener this weekend, things weren't quite as rosy. On the one hand, the Boxtrolls slightly overperformed with a little over 17 million, yet couldn't beat out The Maze Runner in its second weekend for the number 2 spot. It was the biggest debut to date for Laika, besting Paranorman and even Coraline, yet a far cry from other animation debuts this year. How to Train Your Dragon 2, Rio 2, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and the Lego Movie doubled the Boxtrolls debut, at least. Then again, even with those bigger debuts, things are rough all over in animation, as it was revealed over the weekend that DreamWorks Animation, with its stock taking a continued beating, might be purchased by the Japanese. For more details on that story, be sure to check out today's morning movie news via the link in the video description. Now, as for The Maze Runner, it dropped a not-so-great 46% in its second weekend, yet worldwide it's passed 120 million already. Not bad for a movie made for just 34 million. It's done quite well in Russia, actually, though giving more ammo to a country that's considering limiting Hollywood fare in an effort to pressure Washington to lift sanctions. They're also not too happy about being Hollywood's go-to choice for villains again, which means they're really not going to like The Equalizer. The Maze Runner also excelled in Mexico, and Mexican moviegoers will be rewarded with a sequel that takes place in apocalyptic Mexico, insert obvious yet insensitive joke here, as well as introduces Latino character Jorge, paging Dylan O'Brien's Teen Wolf co-star Tyler Posey. No Good Deed, though, suffered another large drop in its 3rd weekend, falling to number 6. Yet this thriller was made for just 13 million and has pulled in almost 47 million to date. And Guardians of the Galaxy once again impressed with the smallest drop in the top 10, a little under 30%. Domestically, it's now the 3rd highest grossing film for Marvel Studios after The Avengers and Iron Man 3, while worldwide it's their 5th highest grossing film, yet should overtake Thor: The Dark World any second for 4th place. Star-Lord and company have finally opened in Japan and have already been in South Korea for a few months now, where interestingly, the movie hasn't performed as well as other Disney fare, Frozen and Maleficent. So it's up to China to power them much further, where the Milano lands October 10th. Elsewhere in the box office, This Is Where I Leave You enjoyed a relatively strong hold, but didn't start out very high to begin with. The rest of the top 10 suffered drops in the 40th percentile, with the exception of A Walk Among the Tombstones, which fell almost 70% in its second weekend. Looks like it'll be needing a tombstone itself. As for this coming weekend, Gone Girl received some much-needed buzz when it debuted at the New York Film Festival on Friday, and now looks to open in the top spot. And while Annabelle might be a prequel to the boffo box office hit The Conjuring, it's expected to open with just half the haul. The Left Behind reboot also debuts, and although Hollywood isn't expecting much, this new trend of non-traditional religious films has been surprisingly strong so far, not to mention under the radar. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope we'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.